Greetings. This is Kal Kat, the Kal Katster, in the on the Starship Paradise here. Paradise, yeah, the Jan Carey ship. I played Carrie in Starcrackers, a number of other people, but today's the Halloween special. So the Halloween special, we have to watch a Halloween movie and then review it. Because there's not much else going on. Well, we have Abra here on the chair. She's going to play the evil sorceress. Abra, there she is. Oh, let's put it back. Yes. And Kid Abra's over there. And so this is Manos, the Hands of Fate. It is the Blu-ray version of the Hands of Fate. It is one of the strangest and dumbest movies ever made. And and of course we have to look at. It is as a classic in South America somewhere, and this print has not been seen since 1966. So this is a Blu-ray. You can get it on Amazon. Mark's Cards also has it. He's not here because of the pandemic and all that. So here we have, and he wouldn't be here for Halloween anyway. So we're going to watch Manos, the Hands of Fate. It's a Blu-ray. So I'm going to watch the video and then come back and review it. I watched it years ago at Mark's Cards' house on VHS. It's a VHS copy of it, and back in the 90s, I think. And it was weird. I think MST3K is the one that did a thing of this. Just what it actually was that we saw. Sort of like when we saw the Gamera one too. Gamera the Brave. That also was on Mystery Science Theater. Yeah, so Manos, the Hands of Fate. 1 year I was Manos, the Hands of Fate. At church, people didn't get it. They didn't see this. Some of them did. Some of them did. They were like, wait a minute. Manos, the Hands of Fate. One time I was Mistopheles from Cats. Of course I was Mistopheles from Cats. I've been a wizard numerous times. But now I'm Captain Kirk again. In honor of the Captain Kirk, 2009 Captain Kirk costume from the premiere of the Kal Kat show. It is the Kal Kat show started in 2009. That puts us well into the 14th season. So there you go. So there you go. Well into the 13th, and starting off into the season. We started every New Year's though, so technically 2009 was short. It ended in like 2 months in December. Per Beast from the Chimera sketch. He's big now. Yeah. And the cultural significance of the Per Beast is that ours was first to do the Per Beast and call him the Per Beast. Nar, the Per Beast. Halloween 2020. Special COVID edition. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. Oh wow. Oh man. This is Kal Kat, the Kal Katster. I didn't bring any other special guests. There aren't any, I guess. It's to me, the Manos. Yeah. Naturally, of course, when I played a version of the character, I didn't go around being misogynist. Of course, that would be bad. Okay, your basic movie is that, well, it starts out with this weird jazz score, very similar to some of the trance type scores, probably inspired by the Manos, the Hands of Fate. First off, Twin Peaks and David Lynch and even to an extent, David Lynch, definitely inspired by this movie, Twin Peaks, which came much later, definitely. Okay, so we have a haunted house story, basically. We have a haunted, creepy house story. Actually, Blair Witch Project and the Blair Witch 2 remake, which wasn't very good, Book of Shadows, also heavily influenced by this movie in terms of a scary house. More so the remakes than. Anyway, so we have we have a goofy sort of guy. I'm trying to set this up so I'm not quite cut off. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so the story opens with this long travelogue shot of this family going on a road trip through El Paso, Texas. It actually is filmed in Texas, which is unusual. But back in the '60s, they just went wherever they filmed. This was a restoration done in the 2000s, so it was slightly the mid 2000s, I think, restoration on Blu-ray. So they tried to restore it as best they could. The original original off of a print they had. You can look all of that stuff up on IMDb and the restoration and all that. I'm sure they have a website, Manos, Hands of Fate, and all that. Go to that. I don't see any interest in any reason to research the restoration that I saw. That it was a restoration, yes, and it looked better, but still, it's kind of a mess. They tried their best with what they had. I understand they interviewed some of the stars and stuff, but yeah, there were some of one of the wives in it. But yeah, it has this. The couple go to this house with this creepy groundskeeper as the sunset, but it's day for night sunset, so it's sunset, but it's midday and then it's sunset again, which I guess happens in Texas. Along the way, there's a couple they keep cutting back to who are drinking some booze. I'm assuming it to be whiskey, and necking in the car, and they cut to them 3 or 4 times, or 2 or 3 times, and that doesn't go anywhere. They're just necking in a car. But then there's a cop that keeps stopping them on the road and telling them to go on. They stop the family at one point going on the road, and because they have a busted taillight. So then they let them go. And they go off the road and they go to this house. Once they get to the house, creepy stuff immediately starts happening. It's similar to that cheesy alien abduction movie with that old dude from Airwolf in it. But it's not aliens, it's ghosts. Vampire ghost. Manos, the Hands of Fate. Manos, the Hands of Fate. Monkey's Paw type of story. A little bit of Lovecraft in there. But mainly it seems like a Tex-Mex, Texarkana fable, which is interesting. You don't see very many of those. And he's a polygamist ghost, vampire, basically. And he has a wonderful flowing costume that has 2 giant red hands at either end. When he opens up the cape, it's got these 2 hands. The costume looks cool, but he's a total psycho. He's got a Doberman pinscher. he's got a painting of himself on the wall and with a dog. Apparently, they get the couple and the daughter's a little kid, get ushered into the house by the evil groundskeeper guy. He's clearly a bad guy, who's a peeping Tom. He's spying on the wife at one point. He tries to lecture after her and stuff. The way they edited it, it looked like she stood there and let him reach out for a minute and go it's really weird editing. Why she wouldn't just immediately smack his hand out of the way? Maybe the feminist movement hadn't happened yet. But there's a lot of other weird stuff going on. So he's the evil. I can't tell whether he's a ghoul or not. I guess he's not a ghoul. At first, he's just sort of a Faustian type of Renfield type of guy. So he's he's creepy. He wants one of the wives in the coven for himself. He's got a coven. At one point, the daughter disappears into the coven and comes back out. They're running out for her. Before that, though, the dog gets killed. They have a dog, family dog gets killed. And that would be enough to send them packing. So they try to get in the car and get away, but they can't because the car won't start. Then they have yeah, so there's sort of a meandering plot about that. When we finally meet Manos and the Coven, he overacts and chews scenery like there's no tomorrow. And his wives who are undead come back to life in time to in a sort of what will be presented later in the Muses in Xanadu, in that 80s roller rink comedy. Was reminding me of that. I know this is way before that, and it's also reminiscent of the Greek Muses. So that's what they were spoofing something earlier, which is Greek, not Mexican. So I don't know where they were getting that from. So it's all over the place. But Manos says as Tex-Mex. It's sort of a mix, yeah. But yeah, so they have this guy with a coven. He's got like a burning fire pit thing. At one point, he kills the groundskeeper guy, and sticks his hand in the fire. And then he explodes. Well, they didn't really show him exploding. He sort of fell off camera, and then the hand came off. It was a fake hand, and it was on fire. He's carrying it around. He almost burned himself. The actor was like walking around with this burning hand thing. It wasn't CG. It was like on fire. He's like, oh, I gotta get rid of this and do my line really quick. Anyway, so, but yeah, it wasn't CG. There wasn't any CG. So yeah, so we have. It's a mess. MST3K analyzed it. The killer guy ordered the death of the groundskeeper guy. Is the master ordered the death of the other one because the groundskeeper because he'd been sleeping with one of the wives, the blonde one. Of course, it was the blonde one. The blonde one and the ladies are arguing over whether they should go and kill the child because they want to be like graphic. The child is probably a nod to something. Just don't know what. It's something from the 60s. It's a little early for Roe v. Wade, so I don't think that's what they're making fun of. So, 66, I think, is when it came out. So they were, and yeah, so they were arguing, and there's this long, extended cat fight. Because the director's like into the cat fight. Just on and on, they're like fighting on the ground. In their Grecian Greek robes. They're really bizarre. So you just wanted to see a cat fight. A long, drawn-out cat fight. Almost as long as the power ride scene in the beginning. Which they did tone down on the Blu-ray release. There was probably meant to be credits there. They just didn't put them in. They did put end credits in. But anyway. Because usually in the 60s, the end credits... late 50s, early 60s, they didn't have end credits. They would put all the credits at the beginning. Early James Bond movies, stuff like that. Credits to be at the beginning. There'd be very little at the end. Yeah, because they want to get all the credits out of the way. Yeah, so, yeah. Yes, the kitties. They're here. They were watching it. They're fascinated with all the witches. Gothica girls joke. Yeah. Anyway, so the Manos, the Hands of Fate. I have no idea what they're thinking. So basically. Yeah, it's all over the place. But basically, before the groundskeeper got killed, he knocked out the husband guy out in the desert. Husband guy comes back to the house, meets up with the wife. The wife and the kid want to escape. Make it out to the desert again. And then decide, because they can't go into the desert because they see a snake, and they shoot it's a revolver. It's a .38 special. That's what it looked like. It's a police revolver. He shot it twice without turning how do you do that? It's amazing. It wasn't a repeating rifle, was it? It was a revolver that it shot twice at the snake. And then at him. But yeah. How many there's a 6 gun. Oh. one shot. Then there should have been another shot, and then another shot. But yeah, it's a 6 gun. It's a revolver. 38 special is probably what it was. Yeah. Anyway, so sleeve was probably before that. It was probably a 22. Judging by yeah, it was a 20. It was a 22. Yeah, like a 6 gun. Anyway, so yeah, Manos and the wives are searching for them and can't find them in the house. But then they come back to the house, and for some reason they go back to the house. And then the husband guy, shoots Manos in the face, apparently. Yeah, and then the frame freezes. Frame freezes a lot in this, probably because of editing problems with the dialogue trying to match a scene that was damaged. There were a few damaged scenes in it. It was a print that they found, restored. So yeah, that jazz music and then the weird piano music is very reminiscent of Twin Peaks in the Black Lodge. Very reminiscent. I'm sure he watched this movie. David Lynch watched this movie. The movements of the caretaker guy are very similar. And I can give away the twist because it's from the 60s. Watch the movie. The twist is they set it up for a sequel. Spoilers. They set it up for a sequel. I don't think there is one. If there is, it's probably not even related. It's probably just some other guy. Apparently the ghoul, because he's a ghost, he's the undead spirit of the house. The wives are too. He's a ghoul, so shooting him isn't going to do anything. He's going to, shot me. So he basically takes out Michael and the wife and the kid. So at the end, they're like this. They're like part of the coven. Ha! And then Michael is turned into the groundskeeper. Ha! At the end, when these other two ladies come up the next in the fall when it's raining, to go to somehow they show up there. To add to the collection, because Manos will, and then it says the end question mark. Yeah, it's the end. I don't think they made any more of these. The odd thing is, though, apparently it wasn't just in the edit; it's in the original videotape version. It wasn't a kid doing the kid voice, which is why it sounded weird. It was an adult doing the kid voice. Because I want to come out of the car, mommy. Can I sing this thing, mommy? I was like, oh my god, couldn't they get a kid voice or something? Anything? I wouldn't sound like a little kid if I did that. So I couldn't do it. To get somebody like 40 to do the voice. I was like, no, it's not going to work. Get somebody like a teenager to do the voice or something. Dub it in or something. I guess that just didn't Foley right or something. Creepy Black Lodge house that has like a coven. It was blue walls and door and all that. Anyway, so that was Manos Van's fate. At one point there's this really, really uncomfortable misogynistic scene in which the blonde wife is caught by the bad guy, tied her up. And he's all like, you will talk or I will kill you. And he's like, smacks her over and over again. It's like, damn, it's messed up. It's like, if she's a ghost, although if they're ghosts, I don't think I would do anything. Yeah, are they actually people or are they ghosts? Quite clear on that one. Were they already dead when they marched into the house? Then everybody was dead. Yeah, I take it that the lady from the end who was going to the house with her friend was the girl who was partying with the boyfriend earlier. But it's kind of unclear. It looks like the producer and the director were two of the stars in the movie, so that's cool. Like in Starcrackers. See, it's all tied in. See, I was in Starcrackers, fan film. Anyway, you don't need to, we're going to go into that later. But this is not a behind the scenes of that. I just thought I would mention that's also going. And then the reason we recorded Manos Sands of Fate starting at 6 o'clock tonight on Halloween night, so we can post it on Halloween night on there as well. So we have that up there on Halloween night, and you can watch the Halloween special. And yeah, it's a feature-length Transformers film before that. The Halloween special will appear on the other channel, though. So, yeah. That'll appear on On Location Cats. which is where it usually does for the past, because it's KCS. It's Kal Kat show episode. Yes, from the 12th season, 12th season finale. Back then was the 11th season finale was SAP production showing up again to launch rockets in the park illegally. Yeah, so they post that video. That's up, but all the other ones are not so much. Yeah, it's kind of a short season. So this is Halloween night. The set. We didn't do anything ghoulish or spooky, although there are some spooky things in the front yard, but I don't know if we can see them because that thing doesn't have a light on it. Yeah. It's hardly worth it, really. Not rated, 74 minutes. Well, except for the, misogynistic, messed up scene, and some of the, ghoul effects. I would say it's probably R. Yeah, for the time. That's right. It's not X or anything, it's R. But yeah, it's R. It's not PG-13. There's some messed up stuff in this. It's definitely not PG-13. I would say no. Yeah. By Synapse Films. There you go. Synapse Films. Catalog. They have the numerous other Blu-ray and DVD combos in Blu-rays. Yeah, their catalog. It includes a vast library of oh my god, they found the Impulse movies. Holy shit. Suspiria. Yeah. Excellent. Oh. And the type of hallucinogenic mushrooms and coke that produced Cats, that type of stuff they were doing in that movie, they should have just used the play and just made an updated version of the play. She did the play. Anyway, but that's Cats. That type of drugs, this movie too. They were high as fuck. This movie. Holy shit. Oh. Kind of looks like a mask. Open mask. It's not. It's his cape. It's his cape. Looks like eyes. His mask. If you were looking at that stone. No, not stone. So, yeah, started as at 6. It's probably 8 now. Yeah, so, Manos, The Hands of Fate. Yeah, it is pretty bad. I would not recommend it. Although, to see the reprint where you can actually see it, that helps. A little bit. You can actually tell what's going on. They, kicked up the lighting when it was too dark. That did work to a detriment at 2 points in it, though. Because when they kicked up the lighting, when they were doing, the siren blares and the hot car, blasted into the screen, Of course, it is a 4K TV, so... and when it pulled it up, filling a little bit of the screen because it's 4K, but it didn't adjust. I didn't change it, I just watched it that way. Because I didn't want to make it blow it up. Because it's already been blown up from 2mm. It looked like it was a 16mm print blown up to 35. That's what it looked like. Yeah, it looked almost like shot on video. But wow, if Salzer Critic gets around to this one, you should totally watch this, Doug. Watch it. You'll be baffled if you have not seen this, Walker Brothers. Watch this movie. You'll be like, what? Manos, The Hands of Fate. I think Brad Jones has already seen this. He has seen this, but... but yeah, they'll be like, I just see their first viewing thing, what? What the hell? What? Nervous laughter. Tamara's never seen Tamara Chambers. Do you dare watch the Manos, Hands of Fate? Oh no, she'd be like, she'd probably like, I hated this movie. Anyway, oh yes. But Lindsay Ellis, formerly of the Channel Awesome, of the creator of the Big Lipped Alligator Moment. Well, actually, Don Bluth is technically the creator of the Big Lipped Alligator Moment, but she coined the phrase, but made the phrase popular. But yes, yeah, all dogs are gonna have a big lipped alligator. Anyway, so yeah, she should watch this and review it, and she should analyze it psychologically. She's like, yes, the '60s was weird. Oh, happy Halloween, I guess. Oh, this is a weird one. I'll put this on the other channel. This is a weird one. Yeah. Can't say it's the worst movie I've ever seen, though. I have seen worse. It's bad, but I have seen worse. I saw a horror movie that was worse than this. What was it called? Well, Book of Shadows was actually more boring than this. but yeah, let's see. Leprechaun 2? It's pretty bad. Oh no. Seed of Chucky is probably worse than this movie. At least there was more going on, but it was still stupid. It was like really stupid. Like there were 2 jokes in it. Seed of Chucky. Really? Chucky was a little evil doll. Oh. But what was cool about movies like Suspiria, like the Giallos, is you didn't know what the hell was going on. The Argento was like, okay, I'm gonna do this evil like witches dance school, and I'm gonna have, and somebody remade it. Somebody remade it a couple of years ago, and the remake is passable. It has some good ideas as a sequel. I would consider it a follow-up or reboot. But why remake it? It's sort of like somebody remade Psycho shot for shot color. It's like, why remake that? Do something different, man. I can do it like Hitchcock did it. Yeah, but you're not Hitchcock. Yeah, so it's like, yeah, the original's a classic because of the point of view, or POV and stuff. Well, a couple of the Nightmare on Elm Street 2 was pretty bad. It was the one with the school bus. It went from being like really fucked up to being really silly and campy. Like immediately, like, oh, now we're gonna tell jokes. Haha, kids. Like, what the heck? What? It's sort of like Ninja Turtles 2. Gamera the Brave. Now that's just no. The Gamera movies were made for kids. They're their own thing. They're like, yeah, well, weren't supposed to be taken seriously. By the time they got to Gamera the Brave, they're like, oh, okay, we don't really give a shit. And also Split, but not. Oh, I got a worse one. Split was really good, but the sequel, Glass, was bad. It was right back to square one with that one. Oh, The Happening. The Happening was laughably bad, though. There were funny scenes in that. Mike Wahlberg walking around going, oh, the trees. Oh, the Wicker Man remake. That was funny, too. The bees, oh! It was funny, though. It wasn't supposed to be, but...